Hi friends, and welcome to the channel. I'm Olivia, and if you've never seen my face before, as you see behind me, I am a fragrance reviewer, enthusiast, whatever you'd like to call me. And if you have seen my face before, hi friends, welcome back. As you can see, I am wearing the same shirt from last week, and that's because I will be on a little vacation in Panama, so I am batch filming beforehand so that way I can see you guys every Saturday. Without further ado, let's talk about what we're getting into today. I have had a ton of new fragrances show up at my house recently. I have been blessed and privileged and bombarded by a ton of new fragrances, and I wanted to share that with you guys in a good old-fashioned haul. I won't really be talking about the longevity or performance of these fragrances because I can't speak on that yet. They're new to my collection, so I just wanted to show off some of the fragrances and give you my first thoughts. So if you're into that sort of thing, make sure that you're subscribed and let's get started. First is Creme Couture by Sniff. Oh my God. This is a gourmand lover's dream. This is like a fluffy, flaky pastry with butter on it and a thick, jammy blueberry syrup. So delicious, but I will say, unfortunately, the lasting power for me was only about 3 hours. And you would think with a more gourmand fragrance that it would last a little bit longer. This kind of reminds me of blueberry waffles, I believe it's called, from Bath & Body Works, but concentrated into a perfume form. It is delicious, so if you don't mind to reapply, I would say get your hands on this one because this might be one of the best gourmand fragrances in my collection, because sometimes what happens with gourmands is they get a little bit heavy and a little bit suffocating, and you wouldn't really want to wear them year round. But because this has like a blueberry jam, there is a tartness, there is a refreshing quality to it. So if you like ultra sweet, very photorealistic food scent, that's Creme Couture by Sniff. Sticking with Sniff fragrances, they just came out with one called Wow Factor, and this is in collaboration with Professor Perfume, who is also a perfume reviewer on TikTok and on Instagram. Her videos are awesome. She's getting married, so she collaborated with Sniff to create her wedding day scent. How special is that? This is an ultra green fragrance. Imagine you're walking through a market of fresh flowers, with the main note in this being fig, but it is not an ultra sweet fig like a ripe fig. This is a hard green fig. So you really have to like green fragrances. This also has the note of neroli that gives it a little bit of a soapy quality. And then as this dries down and it hits around the 5-hour mark, it turns into more of a skin scent, but it almost gets a creamy, spicy, woody quality. I really enjoyed the dry down on this one. The longevity was a bit better on this one, but to me, that neroli was a little bit sharp and a little bit difficult, but it didn't last very long. So the dry down is beautiful. It almost reminds me a little bit of Thé Noir with a whole lot more greenness. So if you like green fragrances and you also like Thé Noir, Wow Factor performance is pretty good. Next is an absolutely beautiful, unique fruity floral fragrance. So sometimes I think that people think of fruity floral and they think, okay, basic, but this one is from the brand Gutal, and this is called Petit. And imagine juicy, ripe, dripping green pear. And then comes in almost a sweet, simple syrup peach. You get this really decadent, juicy sweetness in the beginning. And then you get this beautiful green, fresh off the vine, fresh rose. Not a thick, heavy vintage rose, but a crisp rose, along with a little fluffy lilac in the background. And it dries down, it's a little bit musky, it has almost like a slightly soapy element to it. I made a video talking about that this would be the most incredible fragrance for a bride. Green and fresh and sweet and springtime. I wish I had this more during spring because this is so beautiful, but I will be rocking this into summer because the sweet notes are not too heavy. It's very refreshing. It is feminine and it is just so elegant. So that is Petit Chéri by Gutal. Next, I was very shocked that I was being sent this one because this is from the brand Replica. Very popular here on YouTube. And this is specifically When the Rain Stops. And this is is an aquatic, aromatic, fresh fragrance that almost reminds me a little bit of a barbershop. You've got this really interesting note of pine with a lot of aquatic, watery freshness. It's a little bit masculine. It kind of reminds me of something that my dad would have worn because it is just refreshing and clean. It has a lovely slight spiciness to it from the pink pepper, and the florals are delicate and not suffocating. So it's got a little bit of jasmine. So if you like something that's a little bit barbershop-esque, a little bit clean, fresh, aquatic, masculine, this is a beautiful fragrance. And I actually didn't have any problems with the longevity of this when I tried this the other day, but I only tried it the one time, so don't take my word for it just yet. We'll see how this goes. I got 2 new ones from the House of Gallagher, and this is a niche fragrance house, and they are very, very unique and very powerful. So the first one that I got is called Oh Hello. Whereas the other one was a light green masculine fragrance, this is a green masculine fragrance with a lot of presence. So you get a basil, you get a violet leaf, you get a strong patchouli. So if you like something that's very green smelling but is on the stronger masculine side, this would definitely be for you. I need to give this one a bit of a wear because I have only been able to smell it on a strip, so I will keep you guys updated, but that is called Oh Hello by Gallagher. The next is called Tonkazure. This has notes of champagne, blueberry compote, black currant, rosewater, iris, neroli, sandalwood, tonka bean, patchouli, and musk. I'm getting this sweet, juicy blueberry, but it's quite musky. Tonka bean adds like a creamy, nutty, but powdery touch to it that's a little bit warm. This is certainly not as gourmand as Creme Couture, although they both have a blueberry note. This one is much more floral, much more elegant. It's definitely not foodie, but this is a beautiful mix, and I feel like this one would translate really well from day to night and doesn't really speak to any season. It's just a sweet but floral but elegant, rich, warm yet fresh fragrance, which is hard to do. I'm really looking forward to wearing this one more. That's called Tonkazure by Gallagher. Next is from a brand that I have talked about here on YouTube before, and this is the brand Mudo, and they make one of my favorite skin scents of all time, but they came out with something very, very different. This is called Punk Star, and I was really excited to get this one because the marketing campaign looks super edgy, and it's all about punk rock and roll, which, hey, that is all me all day. This one is very interesting. The way that this translates on my skin is very leathery, so I want to paint you a picture. You are riding on the back of a hot biker's motorcycle, and you're hugging him, and he's got a little bit of patchouli oil in his hair, and you smell his leather jacket, and you smell a little diesel fuel coming out the back. It's just sexy and raunchy. So this is for a very specific individual. If you don't like leather, if you don't like a little patchouli, if you don't like a little bit of a floral component in there, you're not gonna like this. But for those of you who want that true punk, rock and roll, sexy, raunchy sort of scent, this highly deviates from all of the sweet, fresh, fruity florals. If you're looking for something much more statement and you want to stand out and you don't want to smell like everyone else, Punk Star by Mudo. Leather, patchouli, rose, sexy, raunchy. Now this one's kind of funny because I have never received something like this in PR, but I wanted to share it with you guys because I found it very interesting. I got contacted by either a publishing house or someone doing PR for an author, but this is In Search of Perfume, a lifetime journey to the source of natural scents. Nature's Scents. This is a book about fragrance, and I love to read. I am so used to getting messages about perfume, and they're like, we would like to send you a book about perfume. So I'll check back after I finish this. I'm gonna take this on my trip with me to read down on the plane. This is by Dominque. Roques, not certain how you pronounce that last name. I apologize for my ignorance there. Please tell me how to say it correctly. So I got sent a load of fragrances from a brand called Brown Girl Jane, and I got a chance to smell through all of these. Oh my gosh, if you are looking for a brand that is not challenging, just every single one is sweet and comforting and lovely and beautiful and simple and just effective. If you want something that's not finicky, you don't have to worry if you're going to like it from day to day or if it's fragrance or event specific. If you just want to smell good all the time and you want to smell sweet and feminine, holy shit, these are beautiful. These are beautiful. I have this one, Casablanca. Has marshmallow, cardamom. Excuse me, I wore this the other day and it was so beautiful. So lovely. It has amber, soft musk. It was just sweet, delicate, a little musky, a little creamy, a little fluffy with that marshmallow. So that one was Casablanca by Brown Girl Jane. I'm gonna go through these quickly since I have so many of them. So this one is a cherry lychee fragrance. This is Dare. So this one's a little bit more tart and juicy and fruity. It also has rose. It has leather, but do not let that scare you. This is so not a leather fragrance. This is almost a little bit like Tom Ford Lost Cherry, but think of a more girly version. Almost think of if Tom Ford Lost Cherry had a baby with Parfums de Marly de Lina, and then it was like the sweet baby of that fragrance. So it's the granddaughter. What am I doing right now? So yeah, you get the point that I'm trying to make. Beautiful cherry fragrance, and what I love about this one is the cherry is not overwhelming where it smells medicinal. I hate an overly sweet artificial maraschino cherry syrup. I have a few of those that I ended up getting rid of because they were just too much for me. So if you're looking for a cherry that is soft and sweet and palatable and lovely, this one is called Dare. I haven't got to try this one yet. I smelled it on paper, but I haven't tried it on my skin yet. This is called Dawn. This one has raspberry blossom, water lily, iris petals, vanilla, and vanilla bourbon. From what I can remember, it had a very sheer florals with a sweet little raspberry touch, a little bit of vanilla, but not like a thick gourmand vanilla, almost a sheer sweet floral vanilla. This is more on the fresh side of things. Very, very comforting, very easygoing. Love this fragrance line. They're so easygoing. They're all good. They're all good. And then this one gets into the little bit more gourmand category because this has toasted almond, coconut, milk, vanilla, orchid, wild freesia, jasmine, sandalwood, musk. You don't have to worry about them being too heavy for any season. So that one is called Dusk. I also got a load of fragrances from a brand called Piper and Perro. If I'm being honest, I have not had the opportunity to even smell all of these. So I did get a chance to wear one the other day. This one is called Berg. And this smells like cold ocean air with a tropical sea breeze wafting around you. It's a little bit salty, a sheer coconut, but don't think of like a sweet, like synthetic coconut, like an actual real coconut. This one is very refreshing. It's got a little bit of musk to it, so it almost has a clean linen, but don't think like a really strong detergent. Just think of a fresh, clean linen that you hung out to dry. That with a little bit of coconut and like ocean air, it really transports you. This almost kind of reminds me a little bit of Womanity from Mugler, which is beautiful, but a little bit too intense for a lot of people. So if you liked that one, but you want something a little bit more airy, a little bit more sheer, this one is called Berg from Piper and Perro. I'm gonna do a more in-depth review once I give these a better go. And just to let you guys know which ones I got Berg, Arid, Veil, and I got Bud. And I'm just looking at the notes of Veil. It literally says one of the notes is tattoo ink. Ooh. And I also got 4 fragrances from the brand Abbott, and they sell these at Sephora. This is a clean brand. I talked about this one before. This is called Crescent Beach. And if you love clean, fresh linen type fragrances that are that really strong, soapy bubble bath type smell, this is for you. This smells like Blanche by Byredo or Bubble Bath by Maison Margiela. It is, oh my God, really clean, really fresh, amazing, crisp. But one other one that I want to highlight from this brand, I'm actually bringing this on my vacation with me. This is Papaya Isla. This is like a juicy papaya. Like you're eating a juicy papaya, walking through the jungle with the greenery around you, and you have a beautiful musk coming off of your skin because this has ambroxan, so it gives that beautiful second skin type feel to it, but that papaya is juicy and it just smells like a tropical vacation, which I'm gonna be on one, so I took this with me. Another new one to my collection is by the brand Strangelove NYC, and this is called Melt My Heart. And this is a very unique fragrance because this is chocolate and iris. So you get this wonderful powdery clean, almost like cosmetics type powderiness. Imagine the smell of a vintage powder puff or a lipstick, and then you take this beautiful smooth chocolate, a refined Swiss chocolate, not the crappy American waxy chocolate that we have over here that smells like a candle and tastes like crap. No, I'm talking like chocolate in France. I want you to imagine this. It's the 1950s, and there's a beautiful woman who's very regal and elegantly styled, sitting at her vanity, and she's applying her powder puff with her makeup, and it's Valentine's Day, and she got a beautiful luxe box of chocolate that she's sitting eating while putting on her lipstick that's like a ruby red color. She's dripping in diamonds and emeralds and rubies. That is what this smells like. This is a pretty penny. This might be the most expensive fragrance I have in my collection, and it certainly smells the part. So if you have some money to spend on a fragrance, this one is beautiful, and by far out of the house, I tried a sample collection of all of these. This one is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. And I have one other thing from this brand that I wanted to show you. If you're not looking to spend the money on a full-size perfume from them, is called a potion pendant. So it's a necklace, but it has a little roller perfume right there. So I thought that was so cool. Really elegant gift, and a good gift for anybody who's a big perfume lover in your life. It's got a little flower on the top of the pendant. So I thought that was a really cute gift. I was really appreciative that they sent it to me. And lastly, I'm gonna wrap it up with one that was not sent to me. I purchased this one, but I needed to have it. By the brand Jousset. It's called Accident à la Vanille Creme de la Berry. It has notes of like cheesecake, vanilla, strawberry. It smells so good, but you know what it smells like to me? It literally smells like Captain Crunch berries. And you know berry waffle cone from Bath & Body Works? This is like the ultra concentrated perfumey version of it, and I layered the two together and I smelled so good. And some people said that the longevity wasn't great on this. I got like 5.5 hours, so not incredible, but definitely worth it. I try not to talk about limited edition perfumes. This is limited edition, so if this strikes your fancy, I will get it soon. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I invite you to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next Saturday, 10 a.m. PST. And until then, take care of yourselves, my friends.